Welcome to the Don't Get Fooled Show with Big Renee's College Football Conference Championship Week. Let's go, Ace.
All right, boys and girls, we got the Conference Championship weekend. We got a lot of good games on the docket, so cannot wait. We're going to do the format a little bit different this week. We're going to just go over the 5 big games of the weekend, Conference Championship games, and me and Big Ree are both going to give our thoughts and picks on each game. So remember, the games start on Friday, December 5th. So the first game we got is Troy at James Madison. This is the Sun Belt Championship game being played in Harrisonburg, Virginia. And James Madison is a 22.5-point favorite. Troy is 8-4. James Madison is 11-1. They're coming off a 59-10 win versus Coastal Carolina. Big Ree, what are your thoughts here? 22.5-point favorite for James Madison.
Yeah, clearly James Madison's the better team. Troy is just going to get B2A here, and they're going to win by 4 touchdowns, and they're going to cover that 22.5.
So you think they're going to easily cover her?
Yeah, easy money.
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously James Madison, clearly the better team, only 1 loss. Troy, 4 losses. James Madison is ranked. And yeah, I mean, James Madison, high-powered offense, putting up, almost 50 points every other game. They look good. And I think, just James Madison, unfortunately, there is, the news coming out that James Madison head coach has accepted the job at UCLA.
Oh, shoot.
And so, but he will coach. He's going to coach this game. And if they make the CFP, he will coach that. But you never know how that can throw off the thing. But I still, regardless of that news, I think James Madison is going to cover here. I don't think they're going to put up 50 or something, but I think they put up about, I would say they put up about 40, roughly. I think it's probably 40 to 14 here, roughly 38, 14, something around that. I think they'll cover the 22, and I'm going to agree with you, Big Ree. I'm taking James Madison minus 22.5. All right, game 2. This is also a Friday game. 5 p.m. Pacific time, we got North Texas versus Tulane at Tulane. And North Texas is a 2.5-point favorite here, Big Ree. We got North Texas, who's 11-1. Their only loss on the season, 63-36 loss to University of South Florida. Then we have Tulane, who is 10-2. And they're coming off a 27-0 win versus Charlotte, Big Ree. North Texas, their best win is 31-17 versus 9-2 Navy team. And so what are your thoughts here? North Texas minus 2.5.
Yeah, everyone's going to be hyped over Tulane because they're ranked. But I think North Texas is the better team here. And I'm going to swallow the 2.5. I think North Texas wins and by a touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a really, really interesting game. I mean, obviously, high-powered offense of North Texas, 11-1, playing really well as of late. And Tulane, just a really solid program also. They're winning 10-2. And, my thoughts are, first of all, I feel like Tulane has better wins than North Texas. I think they just have better wins. I think they're the better team here, to be perfectly honest with you. North Texas is a really high-powered offense. I think they can easily win this game. They're obviously the favorite here. But I think being on the road is going to hurt them. They're not a great road team, and they don't play as well on the road. And I think this is going to be a close game either way. I don't see North Texas blowing anybody out. Neither do I see Tulane completely just belt to ass here. I don't see that happening. But I think Tulane's going to cover this. I think, I think on a standpoint, I personally think Tulane wins also. But on the point spread, I think you buy this up to 3 and you take Tulane plus 3. And that's going to be my call. I'm going to take Tulane plus 3. So I'm going to have to disagree with you, Big Ree. All right, the third game we got here. This is on Saturday, December 6th. This is a 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We got the Big 12 championship game. We got number 11 BYU at number 5 Texas Tech. Texas Tech is a 13.5-point favorite. BYU 11-1, and Texas Tech also 11-1. They did play each other in week 12, and BYU lost 29-7 to Texas Tech. Texas Tech's only loss on the season, 26-22 to Arizona State here. Just an interesting fact, Texas Tech has only given up over 17 points once all season. Another kind of side story here is BYU's coach is there, sources are saying that he's going to go to Penn State, become the new head coach of Penn State. It's not official yet. Big read, Texas Tech, 13.5-point favorite. What do you think?
Yeah, another B2A game here. Texas Tech is just going to whoop them. They're going to win by, I'd say, 18-21. So, yeah, Texas Tech, BYU is overrated. And then hopefully this will get BYU out of the playoffs for a lot of good, other better teams.
Yeah, I mean, I think Texas Tech is clearly the better team. I mean, their offense has been on fire all season long. And once again, that stat that I said, they've only allowed over 17 once all season. So their defense is playing good. I mean, they have some good wins versus, Utah, and so Iowa State, and then BYU just, they beat Iowa State, but that was a kind of a fluke game, if you remember that game, Big Ree. And yeah, I mean, I think, I think Texas Tech is going to win this game here. And, the tricky part of it is it's a 13.5-point spread. It's just right there on like a borderline, if you ask me, to be honest. I think this is just kind of one of those borderline games, but I have to agree with you. I have to roll with Texas Tech. I just think Texas Tech is going to win. I personally think they win. They barely cover the spread by maybe like 14-17. I don't see them really blowing them out here, but there's always a chance of a backdoor here.
Yeah.
Like that is my concern. That's why it's such a tricky game, because I think the backdoor is going to be wide open for BYU. So I don't think they're going to win, but I think they can backdoor here. But I'm going to roll with Texas Tech minus 13.5. All right. Game 4, Big Ree. This is the SEC championship game. Cannot wait. We got number 4, Georgia versus number 10, Alabama. This is being played at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia. Georgia, 2.5-point favorites. Number 4, Georgia is 11-1. Number 10, Alabama is 10-2. In week 3, Georgia lost to Alabama 24-21. Alabama got the win there. And then Alabama in week 12, they had a big win versus Oklahoma 23-21. What are your thoughts there, Big Reed? Georgia minus 2.5.
Yeah, this is going to be a really good game. These two teams met earlier in the season, and Alabama won. And I just think Georgia's the better team here. And they technically have home field pretty much. So, and I think Georgia covers and wins by a touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, this is probably, this and the Ohio State game, and that we'll go over next, are probably the top 2 games of the weekend. And on Saturday, can't wait for both of these. Gonna have the popcorn ready, the wings, the chips, the pizza. Cannot wait for these 2 games. Yeah, obviously, Alabama won by 3 points in the week 3 against Georgia. Obviously, they're different teams now in the season. They got a whole, season under their belt. I think it's just going to be a really good game. I don't see any team blowing either one of these teams out. I think it's both of these games. It's going to be decided within 10 points either way. I think if Alabama does win, they're going to win just on a last-minute drive that they take the lead. But I like Georgia here as well. I think Georgia wins by a touchdown. I think you got it right on. I think they win between 7 and 10 here. I think it's going to be a good game, but I mean, I think Georgia's going to win here. I don't know what to make of Alabama, and I don't really trust Oklahoma that much, so I don't feel like that's that big of an impressive win there. And I don't know. I like Georgia here, and like you said, they're technically going to have the home field advantage, and I think Georgia is a better team. And so I'm going to roll with the Bulldogs as well. I'm taking Georgia minus 2.5. All right. The last game, the final game, probably the game of the week for sure. We got number 2 Indiana versus number 1 Ohio State. This is the Big Ten championship game being played in Indianapolis, Indiana, at Bank of America Stadium. And yeah, not Bank of America Stadium, but this is number 2 Indiana versus number 1 Ohio State. And Ohio State is now a 4.5-point favorite. We got number 2 Indiana 12-0 and number 1 Ohio State 12-0. You know, Indiana's 2 best wins, they were 30-20 win at Oregon, and then a 27-24 win at Penn State. Then we have Ohio State. They beat Texas 14-7 in week 1. They have a 38-14 win versus Penn State, and then a 27-9 win versus Michigan, Big Ree. Ohio State, 4.5-point favorites. What do you think?
Yeah, this is going to be a really good game. I just don't buy Indiana, even though the spread is going down. And I think Ohio State wins by a touchdown very easily. And I also really, really, really like the under here. Take that under 47.5. That's money right there. Going to be a low-scoring game.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Ohio State, really good defense. Indiana last year had a, high-powered offense. Their defense was pretty crap, and it showed in that first-round matchup against Notre Dame. This year, they have a better offense. They got the quarterback Fernando Mendoza. He's been playing well. Their defense has actually been playing really well this year, so it should be a pretty competitive game. I don't see Ohio State winning by 20 points here. Ohio State, obviously, they're beating up on everybody. They're a really good team. I think there's an outside chance that Indiana can win because Ohio State looks good, but they don't look great. But I like Ohio State in this one. I just think, hey, Ohio State's the better team here, and I just think they can win this game, even though this game is being played in Indiana. I like Ohio State to win. I think they win by, about a touchdown as well. Probably, I would say they probably win by somewhere between 7-14 here. I think Ohio State's gonna win. I think it's gonna be a close game. I wouldn't be surprised even if Indiana has the lead at some point in this game. But I just think Ohio State's the better team. Should be a good game though. I'm really looking forward to it. I mean, when do you have number 1 and 2 playing in a conference championship game? But I'm gonna agree with you, Big Ree. I'm taking Ohio State minus 4.5. I think everybody's jumping on this line, and I think it opened at 5.5. But I'm gonna agree with you. I like Ohio State minus 4.5, and so should be a great conference championship weekend. Next week, there's going to be, I think there's just the annual Army-Navy game. Is that what it is?
Yeah, we're not talking that.
So we're not going to do a video for that game. And then the following week, which is December 19th, I believe, it starts off, will be the first-round college football playoffs. And we will do a video for the college football playoffs week 1. And then we will do some bowl game videos. So look out for that. So, all right.